This is my favorite podcast
Well, I have so
because
much
I
fun
get to
with
talk to my business partner, Nicole, and we get to work through all of our little things that we're doing. And we try to turn the camera
Absolutely.
on so you guys can hear and listen to the different things that we're doing.
Well, and see all that we truly put into our stuff.
And, it's not just the highlight reel that we do.
Right.
A lot of people only show you their successes that they have.
Right.
But our show's a little bit different. We kind of show you what we're working on and what we're achieving, but we also show you when we're running into problems because I think people need to see that
Oh, absolutely.
because it's a lot of failure.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of failure.
And it's hard work, and like you have your ups, you have your downs, but it's great to do this especially weekly because then all you guys get to see like the new things that are coming up, the things that we're working on, like other people we've collaborated with and worked with. So it's kind of exciting.
And you were just telling me before the show
Mhm.
in the green room that you were working directly with a client
Yeah, so
that
I'm really
owns a
excited.
really high-end salon
Up in Winter Park.
in Winter Park. And
Mhm.
how did you get a hold of that person?
She actually got a hold of me. So she said that she heard about our product through other people. And she never said whether or not she physically tried it herself, but that she had talked to that they got rave reviews and that she really wanted to know more of the stuff behind it, like what exactly does it do, like which ones would be good for her, kind of everything. And so we went down and broke down everything that she would need for her specific needs, other things that after she tries this, if she really enjoys it herself, other things that she could bring in personally for her own clientele to purchase. So things like that are really nice. But yeah, she was absolutely great and stuff, and
But
she's
it's an
very excited.
example of having the marketing in
Yeah.
place and having that message that we're
Mm-hmm.
putting out there. But you also have to be an interactive um, person in your business. You're
Right.
the
Right.
owner and
Mm-hmm.
you're reaching out and talking to people and making sales calls and making
Mm-hmm.
connections. And,
Right.
it's so important to realize that, you've got to have the social media. You have to have the
Yeah.
website. You have to have, customers. You have to have some paid advertising at some point.
Right.
You have to have an owner that's able to answer the phone and talk to the
Yeah.
people and
Well, and
relationship.
she got my number from whoever it was because she did call me to figure it out. But the problem was that she was looking at the old website and it wasn't coming up. She would get all this other stuff like, what can I do? And I was like, oh no, we've expanded. We've got a bigger line where we're now Synergy CBD. So I redirected her to that, and that did make her happy. But just to sit there and know that there's so many people just talking about it and moving around, and like it really is word of mouth, it's from watching different things, which that's a whole other thing. That not only have I been posting a handful of videos on education over the past few weeks and stuff,
Which
as I
are
continue
phenomenal. You're doing a
thank
great
you
job with that. You're doing a
thank you
great job with that.
Thank you. I'm trying really, really hard. And not only to, which has been great because I have been raising my numbers on TikTok because that is the main number one thing. But people have started like connecting with me and interacting with me, having certain questions for me on these different social media outlets, including LinkedIn. And I've actually had a handful of cannabis specialists reach out to not only give more information, like even more in depth than what like I have already given. So like if you want to for another show or whatever, any of these things, but also chiming in on like what their thoughts are and everything. So it's actually been kind of exciting. to start really other incredibly reputable people within the industry. So yeah, it's been fun.
And in the marketing space,
Mhm.
we call that developing, an authority image in the space.
Okay. Mhm.
And when you're an expert in the space that you're doing business in, people gravitate to those people. And
Mhm.
Nicole, you are, an authority in health and beauty and,
Why, thank you, sir.
CBD. You've run several successful businesses in that genre. And so when you're talking to these people, you've been there and done that.
Yeah, exactly.
And it helps them
Well, and it
with their
does.
business.
Well, and just it's nice to sit there and know that like cannabis is such like an ever evolving thing, just to banter with other people, personal opinions versus like scientific fact, all this other stuff, preferences. It's actually it's joy hearing about and learning about the different things.
And it's true, when you're really good at something, it's exciting.
Yes, I
And
try.
I I have a tendency to give away a lot of my time because I am excited about things that make small businesses grow.
Well, and
Because
because you're so amazing with that.
well,
Like you genuinely many people.
I love helping small businesses get traction and find out their problems and helping them
Mhm.
fix that. Um, because I've been blessed in my life to be able to do that. And I work with some of these real estate investors now, and
Right.
I'm telling them, hey, look, you've got to. I was dealing with a guy the other day, and he had a plumbing issue,
Oh,
and
yes. Was this the one from last week? I think it was like Tuesday last week. Was it one of your renters?
no, this is a house that we're
Oh,
renovating
renovation.
for to
Okay.
put
So
somebody in.
new person.
But it
New
was just
person, more plumbing stuff.
yeah, and then we're reaching out to try to get this guy over there. And this investor that I'm coaching said, hey, I called the guy, and he didn't call me back. Well, I said,
Oh.
did you text him? Well, no, it's a phone number. I said, it's a text.
Yeah, you can text
Maybe
somebody.
it's an office. Well, I don't think it is. I don't think anybody has any plumbers have a phone and text there. I said, send him a text. And I sent the guy a text. He
Mhm.
texted me right back. I got a
Right.
quote, and he's coming out there. But
Oh, perfect.
it's those little problem solving things that I work on with these small businesses, and that gives everybody a little bit more insight of how to stay competitive. Because if you don't hustle, then you're going to end up with the highest retail price that you can get on your repairs,
Right. Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
and your business is not going to be successful.
Mhm.
But
Agreed.
it's not because I'm the smartest guy in the room. I
Mhm.
have just had this happen so many different times, you know, that I know what it is that works. And
Mhm.
Nicole, in this specific instance, knows the formulas and knows the places to go and knows the quality product and the not the quality
Mhm.
product. I mean, we can shortcut a lot of the shenanigans that happen
Right.
um, by your expertise.
I try.
No,
Yeah, just
it's
because like really educating people because it like I said it is ever evolving and whereas before cuz I was actually talking to my girlfriend who stopped by yesterday. She was great. We had a great CBD talk and all about, health and stuff. She's super big within the that's the one that I was talking to you about that we want to have on the show one of these Tuesdays. She couldn't today cuz
is that Rachel?
no. This one is Amy Hicks. So
Okay.
she's actually a published author within the cannabis industry and has these, I don't know, like called like keynote speakers, like all
Right,
over the
right.
place. She's been flown all over and stuff, even other countries to do all this stuff. So she's very knowledgeable. And with having this conversation with her yesterday, as that's the part that makes it so difficult, because a lot of people back in the day were like, well, I had trash weed, I had all this other stuff. Well, then we kind of put it in three different areas and stuff. We did it with the stativa, which gives you energy, an indica, which they say is in the couch, like that's where you're lazy and like sleepy and everything else. And then you had a hybrid, a mixture of the two, so you're kind of in between. So then when people finally started catching on to that, they now change it, and you could have a indica that it gives you energy like a sativa, or vice versa and stuff, and it's all based off the terpene level. So that's what we were talking about, is how you have your three main terpenes. You have your Carol ethylene, which that one's more of like the pepper smell and taste. You have the limonene, which is more of like the citrus smell and taste. And then you have the pinene, which is the pine, more basic, like natural taste and smell. And then they have a whole slew of other ones. So because they've done all this crossbreeding, it's made it more intricate for people to where they're already having a hard time understanding the basics. Now you have to go in with this. And so it's great because I can talk to other people and other clientele and different things on like what exactly they need for their particular needs based off what strain of cannabis was actually used. So it's for me, it's actually really entertaining, but you're like,
This is why I'm so glad I have you.
so it's just it's a lot that goes into it, but it's so exciting to me and stuff. I love
But,
explaining.
back to the main point that we were making is you have to be passionate about what you do.
Oh, absolutely, and
You know?
knowledgeable, and be open to continually learning. So
Exactly.
even
Exactly.
doing your media side, media is ever changing, and there's always something new coming out, and like you have got to stay knowledgeable and on top of it in order to stay ahead of the game.
I
Really.
was I was consulting somebody earlier today who was looking into buying a property in Oklahoma as an investment.
Okay.
They're in Denver, and
Okay.
they were looking at buying a property in Oklahoma. And they said they looked at this house, then that they didn't have enough money for this, that, or the other thing, and they were analyzing everything and went to look at a REIT, real estate investment trust, and then they didn't know about that, who was running that, maybe it's not safe, blah blah blah. And
Okay.
so I'm back to where I started, the guy said. And so I've accomplished nothing. And I said, look, no. I said, this is
No, it's
this is the free time.
yeah,
You're getting an education for
yeah,
free and you're not losing any money. And
exactly.
to me, that's fun.
Oh,
You learn
yeah.
about it and that's fun. And then when
Mhm.
you actually make an investment or start a business or start on this trail of picking an industry to be an expert in, you have self-educated yourself to the
Yeah.
point where you're
Mhm.
valuable.
Yes,
And then
agreed.
if you continue to learn, then you have more and more value. And you have to be interested in it to do that. And the guy's telling me all this stuff. I already know all that. I know you can't buy a $200,000 property at
Mhm.
retail that's a new build and expect to rent it and have it be profitable. I don't even need to run the numbers. I will run the numbers with investors, and I will help you figure it out. But that's the interesting thing about dealing with somebody that has experience is
Right.
you're less likely to make a mistake.
So I actually have a question about that. Is the reason why is because since it would be like a new build and stuff, I'm guessing it's in an area of new builds. Is that why you couldn't find a renter like right off the bat because the place is not established yet?
Nope, it's too expensive. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Everything comes down to dollar signs everywhere, wherever. And
Okay.
if you're dealing in real estate,
Hmm.
the first thing that you have to do is buy it cheap,
Yeah.
and you have to work on that first.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was looking at a $200,000 home, and I buy houses at 100,000, 110,000.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if it was a $110,000 home, would all your numbers work? And he said yes. So you can't buy at retail and sell, you know.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
But people get eager and they want to have a new house or something that they would live in, and they ignore the numbers, and it's just how we buy all of our CBD products from a huge supplier. And
Yes.
we have our 2 kitchens that are just
Mm-hmm.
magical people that take care of us on a large scale. I mean, if
They
anybody
do.
ever saw a picture inside of our Oklahoma kitchen, and
Oh,
I was in there talking to Michelle,
it's mind
a
blowing.
couple of weeks ago, and there's these grape gummy things that were being manufactured. And if you could just picture the scale of a big conveyor belt with like 20 or 30 buckets going up and hundreds of these gummy bears at one point, that's where you get quality ingredients and products at a bargain.
Right. Right.
So that's really what we do, is make sure that we're buying correctly so that we can
Mhm.
provide the quality CBD products to all of our vendors, our distributors, and the end users, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I
So
absolutely agree.
you can't go and just buy things willy-nilly off the internet and expect to be able to provide value and quality to your customers.
Right.
And
Right.
the same thing is with the real estate. If you're not
Mhm.
buying correctly, it's not
That's
working.
true.
The best example that I give to people always is my previous thing, so we could tell how they worked out. 10
Okay.
years
Yeah.
ago, I bought a house in Inglewood, and it's lost $100,000 in value the last 6 months,
Okay.
and I'm still $200,000 to the good
Okay.
because I bought it at 118.
Oh,
It
nice.
went
That's
all the way up to 475, 500.
yeah, that's what I was
Now
gonna
it's
say, 'cause
dropped
that's
back
on
down to
average.
375,
Okay.
but it's still renting for a good number,
Yeah.
and it'll go back up again. But if I
Mhm.
would have bought that house a year ago
At
at
500.
475,
Mhm.
I would have a problem, especially if
That's
I tried
true.
to use debt to finance it,
Right.
which is,
Exactly.
and people don't understand me saying that either. Don't take a loan out to do real estate investments because you can't make the numbers work.
Well, and that's why you have investors get together in these small groups to teach them as they're building and getting their equity, which is
Nicole,
amazing.
you are so smart. You're all. Let me tell you something. All the people in my life that
Mhm.
are the younger hustlers are so smart, and
Thank you.
you get it. I mean, it's not even your area, and you finish this sentences with me, and I feel comfortable that you're going to build wealth and be okay
Well, it's just
because
because
your mind works that way, and
yeah.
it's wonderful.
Well, and it's not just of course my passion is with helping people in different ways like cannabis and doing natural things and stuff, but I love learning exciting things and things like real estate, the stock market. That stuff excites me because it's super overcomplicated, but once you can learn it and have it simplified, you can use it for your benefit when it comes to finances. So, like living in the kind of economy that we weren't taught that in school. So to learn it, like moving on, I feel like it's also I'm utilizing it as a great tool because I can pass that on to my kids. And I do
Absolutely.
it a lot by like essentially learning from you. You do it. I mean, just talking and everything else. I love that.
Well, I remember you and I talking about cryptocurrency,
Yes. Hmm.
and almost everyone took a big L on that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for the past, yeah, it's been in what is it? The bull is it, yeah, because it's bull mode or whatever, where it's down the stock market or well, cryptocurrency for about 2 years now, right? Almost 2 years.
Yeah, they call them bull and bear markets, and the
Yeah, and
bull
bear
market
goes up,
is
right?
charging up.
The
The
bear
bull market means
oh,
it's
bull
going
market
up.
charges up, bear goes down. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
that's right. 'Cause it's based off their heads. Bears have them down, bulls have them up with the horns. Got it.
so um, I think a lot of people lost some money,
Yeah.
which is
They
natural.
pulled out of it.
Which is
Yeah.
natural.
hmm
Um, but it's a learning experience, you
Oh
know.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
if you don't really know what you're doing,
hmm
start off small,
Yeah.
and you could take a
Yeah.
loss small
hmm
until you understand what you're doing a little bit more,
hmm
So buying a $700,000 house in Denver and wanting to rent it out,
No.
that's a good way to get wiped out,
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
the cryptocurrency, um, and I have been a proponent of a strategy that I developed during the last bull market, and I
hmm
called it the moon bag strategy.
And what's that?
Well, here's how it works. You take the alternate coins that are popular that are coming
Okay.
out, and I buy $100 worth of whatever the coin is. And then as soon as it doubles, I take my money out.
Man out. That's what we did. I learned that from you when I invested in it 3 years ago.
Talked about it in Vegas. We were in
Yeah.
Caesars and we were talking about
Yeah.
in Vegas. But we
Yeah. That's
we
literally, I
now
think that was
have our
3 years
original
ago when I did
investment
it.
back,
Uh-huh.
and we leave the moon bag sitting where it is. And if it goes to the
And
moon,
then you're not at, and it's just gaining.
exactly.
Yeah.
And a lot of them go to
Mhm.
zero, but some of them go crazy.
Well, and you can move them
So,
around. You can convert your cryptocurrency into another one. So when I see ones that are like dumping and you're just like, and I read up on the certain ones that I'm in, if it just seems like it's not doing very well, like XRP with that whole thing, if anybody invested into XRP, I was one of them. That I immediately took that out and converted it into another crypto coin. So,
but the
so I
point
didn't lose
is,
everything.
we want to be playing on house money, and
Yeah.
whatever your unit is
hmm
that you feel safe with, you can buy these alternate coins or Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever you need to do for $1.
Yeah. Right. hmm
And when it goes to $2, cash out
hmm Right.
and be working on that level. But it's more about learning than it is about winning. The
Yes.
knowledge
Yes.
is the best investment, because
Mhm.
if you kind of learn how to trade in and out of cryptocurrency, you're automatically teaching yourself how to trade in the stock market.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's exactly how
Because
that
it's the
helps
same
you.
thing. Instead of
Yeah.
coins, it's companies.
Yeah,
And
stocks and holdings within companies. Yeah.
exactly. So, what do you tell me what you like now? What are you working on stock
Well,
wise?
I
Do
still
you have any
have
companies that you like right now?
like within the crypto. Is that what
No,
you're
in
talking about?
stock.
Oh, in stocks. What is the one that I had? I just invested in one. It was because I was reading a bunch of stuff. If I can get into my Robinhood or where my Robinhood is, I can let you know for that and stuff. But no, because I'm barely starting to dabble. Um, of course, it needs it for this. Oh darn. I
Well,
can't get it.
let's talk
I
about
have to relog into everything.
no, let's talk about something you just said. Let's talk
Uh-huh.
about Robinhood.
Oh yes.
Okay. So you're investing in
Mm-hmm.
stocks in Robinhood. And if you make any money, you have to pay taxes on it.
Yes. Yes. Well, that's what
What
they
we
do with
should be
cryptocurrency now
doing,
too.
Oh, absolutely. But
Mhm.
what we should be doing, and I'm saying this to you, but for all the listeners,
Okay.
um, get a Schwab IRA account,
Schwab IRA. Got it. I'm gonna write this down.
and you and I can do a screen share when we're not on air. But
Yeah.
and I'll invite some people to watch that lesson. But if we do an IRA, even if you're a business owner and you have to set up your own IRA, there's a certain amount of money that you can put away inside that.
Wait.
And
I put it on a text so that I remember with me and
I
you.
just got that text.
Yes.
But we can put some, like $5,000 a year or whatever. We'll put it in either a Roth IRA or just a regular IRA, and we'll talk about that. But the point is that everything that we put inside of that IRA grows tax-free. So until we cash it out of that account, we don't have to pay the taxes on all the sales of the stock that we do. So our
Nice.
exposure to the stock market should be inside the IRA, and you
Mhm.
don't have to have a company plan. You don't have to have anything. We can set it up on our own. And again, we can take a basket of stocks and say, here's what I like. And you and I should do a segment on investing for the entrepreneurs with this.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
we can actually build a stock portfolio. And we're not financial advisors, and this is not financial advice. This is what we do.
Right.
People can watch what we do as entrepreneurs and copy our moves, and that's what our show is all about. So if, let's say, we took $1,000 and put it into an IRA, I like Schwab, but then we learned about ETFs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vanguard VOO
Okay.
is, I think, the dividend producing stocks basket.
Oh, okay.
And we can have that as a managed fund,
Mhm.
or we can invest. And one of the things that I like to invest in is dividend producing stocks, because they're companies that I believe in and they pay a dividend.
Okay. So a dividend as in like part of if they like go up in stock, they pay all the shareholders or
There's
how is
two
that?
different things at play.
Uh-huh.
And again, we're not financial advisors. We're just talking about stuff.
No,
But
not bantering.
but it's fun. But there's two different things. There's the company's stock price
Okay.
is people betting whether they think that stock is going to go up or down. And it's
Okay.
generally
Okay.
loosely attached to value. But
Mhm.
a dividend is the company saying, look, we're going to share part of our profits with our shareholders. And that's a certain percentage. So every quarter, the company says, oh, we made $1 billion. So this percentage is going back to our investors.
No, I think that that's great.
And so the thing that I like about the dividend producing stocks is we can get money without having to sell our stock.
I love it.
And I'll look something up really quick. I've got history. I got a $581 qualified dividend from Xcel Energy
Okay.
on the 22nd. And that stock, let me look back on when I bought it. If we look at Xcel, and I'll do gain or loss. Xcel Energy, I bought it for 59 and now it's at 69.
Nice. So that's huge.
So I made money on the stock
Mhm.
and I made money on the dividend.
That's
But
amazing.
Waste Management, I bought for $69,000, and
Okay.
now the market value of the stock is $111,000.
Oh wow, that's a
So I
huge
made
jump. Good for you.
$41,000 on just the gain of the stock.
Okay.
And if
Mm-hmm.
we go look at the history, like we did on the other one, let me see what my Waste Management dividend was. Waste Management, $415 every 3 months.
Oh,
So the
that's
stock went
awesome.
up in price,
Uh-huh.
and I got a $400 payment.
Nice.
And so when we're looking for ways to make money in our retirement,
Mm-hmm.
those dividend stocks are kind of giving us a payment. And
Yeah. Without having to do anything really besides
or
invest
sell the
that money,
stock or
right?
do anything like that.
Yeah.
And so that with a rental property and our Social
Yeah.
Security and a little business like you and I run,
Yeah.
you've effectively given your money a chance against the inflation, which is really what
Yeah.
we're trying to do as business people, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we've
Well, and the
probably
fact that during this inflation, there are people like you out here to help school and teach all these people how to not sink. You just have to, but like these are ways that like you're just giving up this information and this education for free just to truly help people with things that you've done yourself, which is one of the things that I adore the most about you because you just genuinely want everybody around you to truly succeed.
yes, and
And you
I
just do it. And
don't,
it's amazing. I love it.
and that's why I don't charge for any consulting that I do for
Great.
people, because if I am making people more successful financially, I'm growing the circle
Right.
of good people that we have around us, and that's the thing that I'm very interested in doing. And somebody said something about, why are you not upset paying all these school taxes
Okay.
when you don't have kids that are in the school system? Why doesn't that upset you?
I don't think I would ever be upset to give us I
Because
would
I don't
rather
want to
actually
live
give
in a
my money.
community that has a bunch of dumb people in it.
Yeah, right? Like I
I
would
want to support smart
I'd
people in our
rather
communities.
1,000,000 plus these people that we are putting our money for now, that's our future. Why wouldn't you want to like I look at it as it's like an investment towards my future. Like they're the ones taking care of us. So if we take care of them now, then they're going to be better to us later on.
Or not.
Like
Well, I mean, it's very easy to look at areas where the youth have been allowed to just go,
right. Right.
and
Mhm.
they're in the streets and they're stealing and they're vandalizing things. It's not a safe community to live in.
Well, but if you give back that money, it gives them those things that they probably like a more successful school that could afford it and has less of those issues. It's because they're able to offer more towards the community.
And that's
And
the puzzle that we try to figure out at all
yeah,
times. And
yeah,
In-N-Out Burger, you know who they are.
of course.
They just closed their first store in the
Oh,
history of the company. They closed In-N-Out Burger,
where at?
Oakland, California.
Oh, is it because of the violence and everything else and the
No one could go eat in that restaurant without getting robbed or burglarized or their car vandalized. I mean, it was a war zone. And so
awful?
the problem is the people that live there
Yeah.
lost their
Yep.
In-N-Out Burger.
Mhm. And
And
that's not
everything,
gonna be the only thing, because if
and that's
that
exactly
company did
right.
it.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right. the In-N-Out burger is only the canary in the coal mine. It's like, the grocery store's closing for the same reason. And,
Awful.
it is awful. I mean, there's no reason that we shouldn't be protecting our citizens.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you.
And, it's education that wins overall.
Well, that, and also, like, I just feel like, well, they had said, I recently heard that within our lifetime, we are first trillionaire. Now, when you get to a certain point, do you really need that much money? I personally don't think you do, because, like, not only do you already have generational wealth, but you're good for the remainder of your life. That I think that really, when it comes down to it, like, a certain amount of money like that, even if they took from a trillionaire $1 billion to put back in, it's not just to help give back. They have to think of themselves too, because if we only think of ourselves and we continue to allow all of our surroundings, like, somebody else will take care of it, somebody else will do it, somebody else will do it, no one's going to do it. You've got to take action and move forward. And some of these communities that you hear about and stuff, there's certain ones in, like, San Francisco, where all these places are shutting down. Where is it? Is it in Portland, Oregon, where it's, like, really, really bad and stuff? Like, that all these places are shutting down. And I feel like a lot of it is based off of the fact of, it starts in our education system. Even things where people are like, well, it's about drugs and they've got this and that and they've legalized this and that. Well, if you were more educated within the education system prior, then you would know more about this stuff.
Here's a marketing standard that I have used for the last 40 years.
Okay.
And there's a lot of marketing people out there that are really concerned with algorithms and reach and numbers and that kind of thing. I don't care about that. The only thing that I care about is the parent company that I'm working for, whether it's mine or somebody else's, is that the phone rings.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't care how many likes you have. I don't care how many impressions you have. I don't care how many eyeballs you have. If it's not resulting in the phone ringing and Nicole picking up the phone and saying, oh, how many cases of,
so can I get you? Yes.
Purple Nurple, whatever, sleep aid, or how many salmon flavored doggy tinctures do you want to buy?
Right.
Until then, we don't care.
No, so, not at all.
The reason I say that is because I don't care about the educational thing unless we get kids that are getting an advantage in their paycheck. That's the thing that we should measure about. If some kid goes to school for 4 years and all they end up with is $85,000 in student loans and a $25,000 a year job, we are not effectively educating our kids. Back when I went to school, when dinosaurs were walking around on the planet on my campus, I spent $2,500 for college education, and they said that in my lifetime, that $2,500 a year over 4 years would make sure that my income would be double, triple, or quadruple somebody that didn't go to college. And it was true.
A year? That's
$2,500 a year, Western State College, 1981. And my entire college bill was 10 grand. But I used to work on construction in the summer to pay for my books and tuition. And then I was a residence hall advisor to pay for my room and board because my folks were poor. And, so my actual bill in college was a lot less.
That's crazy, though. Yeah, because I paid $2,500.
I am doing the Synergy CBD Labs show with
Yeah.
Nicole.
Oh my gosh, that's big time.
It is big time. She's my Tuesday show.
Oh, that's what are you guys talking about?
We are talking about school and
Education,
college and
uh,
how maybe we should have some alternatives to
cryptocurrency,
educate the youth.
stocks. Yeah.
100%.
And we had a brief talk about stocks and investing. And I think we should have you on the show and talk about real estate investments.
Yes.
Hey, whenever you're ready, I'm ready.
I think we should buy a house and
Mhm.
show people how to monetize it on the Synergy CBD Labs show.
Yeah.
Oh, bingo.
So pick us out a $50,000 house we can buy, and we'll do it on the show with Nicole.
Hey, there you go. That's pretty cool.
All right. Can
Heck
I call
yeah.
you back?
You sure can.
I'll call you back, buddy. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
What do you think?
I love it. I love it.
That's my real estate guy in the rural Oklahoma market, and he's the one that picks me out houses to invest in. But
I love
one of the
that.
things that I want to show, I'm gonna do a share screen really quick,
Yeah.
is one of the things that I think is relatively hot right now is cybersecurity.
Yes. Yes. There's a lot of people that I hear a lot of ads about it and everything else all the time.
Well, look, here's cybersecurity analyst between $50,000 and $100,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
And this is entry-level job at 50. Can I make $200,000 a year? Apparently, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I see that 200 to 500. That's insane.
And I think it's a work from home opportunity. And I think the certificate, let me see if I can just do this. Four-week class,
Oh, there you go.
24-week class. And these are all online.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I'm sure you can do them at like I mean, you've got to do a certain amount if they're 4-week or 24-week and stuff during that time, but I'm sure it's at like your own pace. That's amazing.
Point is, there are other opportunities.
Yeah.
And
1,000,000%.
and I'll put these on the website as well, because I want to support the new blue collar jobs.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
And this cybersecurity space is like somebody learning to be a plumber.
Yeah.
In the old days.
Oh, 1,000,000% because a lot of people are like, oh no, it's just blue collar jobs like doing HVAC or plumbing or any of that other stuff. And it's like, no, you can still have an office, stay home, not have to do anything.
There's new blue collar work.
Yeah,
like
that's exactly.
coding,
It's like a new one.
programming.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you learn to code, you can have a stay at home, work at home job for a long time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 1,000,000%.
And be, making over $100,000 a year.
All
So
from home.
we need to kind of guide these young people to better jobs.
Yes. And school them just even basic things like what you do on investment properties and different things like that. Like there's different ways of being able to help yourself financially.
And my role is to help them better utilize their income that they do make.
Yes, exactly.
Don't
and find ways of keeping
spend it
that
on
to
credit
grow.
cards. Don't buy a new car.
Right. Yeah.
I have a program that I'm developing that I would like to have it be a coalition of dads, where kids can have a question and
Mhm.
the dads will answer. And most of the time, the answer is going to be no.
Yeah, right.
No. Hey, Dad, can I buy a new Camaro? No.
No. I'd be like, well, are you going to pay for it?
Can I DoorDash? No.
No.
And we talk to them about what the alternatives are,
Mhm.
because people don't realize that it's like the stock investment class we were talking about. If you would only put $100 away in your IRA
Mhm.
a month when you're 18,
Yeah.
the compounding interest is crazy.
Mhm.
And you're going to have like $6 million when you're 65 just by doing
Yeah.
that.
Mhm. Right.
But we're too busy, buying $1,500 phones and, other things that we're distracted. And, the people in the rich families where they have rich people as parents and
Mhm.
grandparents, and they're educating their kids, and they're getting an advantage.
Mhm. They
They're not
absolutely are.
smarter than everyone else.
Mm-mm. No.
They've just been given an advantage because they had, successful parents. And the only thing that the parents have is experience.
Well, and that's one thing I do want to tell any of the listeners out there, that stuff deep down inside. It is all about the lobbyists, the marketing employees, everything else. A lot of these incredibly wealthy people are given these products. They're not paying for it like the day-to-day consumers are, like me and you, because the company's doing that on purpose to, oh, look, that like Taylor Swift's got the newest thing. Like then you're all these other going out and purchasing the same thing that she has. It's different things like that. Like it's all a marketing ploy. So when you do see the rich and wealthy having specific things, people don't understand that a lot of that stuff into them because the company owners did that to grow their company. That's all that it is. So they're still not spending the same kind of money like the day-to-day consumer is.
As a percentage.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What's the latest one? The water bottles?
Oh, the Stanleys, those are so ridiculous. So ridiculous. Especially like how much people fought over like the Valentine's Day one. Like there were like full-blown, like all-out brawls inside Targets for this like limited edition, like Valentine one to come out. And then next thing you know, like with like stores opening and allowing people to purchase these things, they were up on places like eBay for like $250 for a metal freaking container that if anybody, and I'm sure most people out there have owned Hydro Flask. I have a million children that have a million Hydro Flask. Why? They drop them all the time. They get dented. They're pure metal. Like, yeah, it's way better than you really spend $250 to be like, I got a limited edition Stanley Cup that doesn't even mean anything now. And it's not even Valentine's Day yet. Like, it's the craziest thing. It's so mind blowing to me.
Well, and there's a lot of people that don't really think about the long-term consequences, but they don't have a plan.
Right. Right.
And there's some kids out there that are saving up for a car, and somebody is saying,
Mhm.
hey, I want you to think about this
Mhm.
situation, and you can either have this car when you're 16 or you can have this.
Yeah.
And having
Yeah, absolutely.
activated parents, that are walking the kids through the decisions.
Mhm.
Do you want to drive a piece of crap
Yeah.
car?
Oh, 1,000,000%. Well, we're actually dealing with that currently because we have two 15-year-olds. One has saved up for, because we said that we will give them $5,000 towards a $10,000 car per kid. They have to come to the table with the other $5,000. And if they want something nicer than a $10,000 car, they have to come to the table with even more money. Well, of course, Kardashians, so they want even nicer cars. But they know that they have to save up, that they have to do that. So my oldest daughter has psychotically, even my youngest daughter, who's only 13, they've been saving for years towards their car. So because they've got their mindset on what they want. Now, my 15-year-old son, we have a car and it's no more than a $10,000 car. He's completely content with that, but he won't save a dime to go towards it, to sit there and do any of that. So like we had a talk with him like a week ago, and we made it very clear that if he continues to not save, we're just going to sell the car when they're done needing it to learn how to drive, because like he's got to have a little bit of skin in the game to understand and appreciate and know that. And so I love that you used that.
So what's he saying?
Like a typical 15-year-old teenage boy, he's like, okay, I got it. And then got money and then spent it all on guitar parts. so I'm like,
all of my kids
not want it, like,
have driven crappy cars.
yeah, absolutely.
At first.
Mhm,
And it is the best thing that ever happened to them.
Well,
because when they grew out of it, they bought a nice car and they really appreciated it.
Well, that, and also that's what I keep telling like my daughters, like, yes, if you want something nicer than a $10,000 car, which they're looking at ones from 12 to 15. So it's not a massive jump, but like it's still, you can get like a nicer car. But I do reiterate to them that there is and of course, as a parent, I don't want it, but there is a massive probability that they will probably wreck that first car.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Most kids do, like, because they're still technically learning and stuff. So I'm like, I wouldn't go too crazy, because they're gonna give you the money on the depreciation amount of what it is.
My granddaughter is a sophomore at CSU.
Yes.
When she turned 16, we all went in on a car. Aww. I paid a third, her parents paid a third, and she paid a third. And it was amazing. A 1994 Jetta.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. And she calls it Betty White. It was a white Jetta, and she calls it Betty.
I love it.
She's wrecked that thing more than once. And thank God we didn't have a $20,000 SUV.
Oh, yeah.
That she had to worry about.
Well, and I almost prefer getting how you said in 1994, like an older version vehicle, whereas
she's still driving it.
Oh yeah, like because they were built better. Personally,
I believe
they were built better.
Is looking forward to his car when he's 16.
And what's his?
He's 13.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what car his parents said he was going to get?
What?
Betty White.
Oh, I love it. Pass it on down.
I know.
Pass it on down.
Nicole, I am going to end our live experience here because we're coming up on an hour.
With Betty.
Please reach out to Nicole if you have any small business advertising needs, or you want to become a distributor at the CBD company, you want to join the Synergy family in any way, reach out to us. We're here to help you. And I just cannot tell you the positivity that has come into my life just to be a part of the Synergy Labs with Nicole.
Mine too. I love every moment.
Money, but it's about making your life better. If you can be with people like Nicole and build your work family and your entrepreneurial family, they want to help you win. And it's a good life to do that.
It really is. It's fulfilling.
And I am grateful every single day.
Very grateful for you.
If there's anything I can do for anybody, I'm available.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. Mark will answer questions. He will do education. Like, he's amazing. It never says, well, I take that back.
Whenever-
I'm not a positive
When
person.
I'm asleep, I had kidney failure and I'm getting a kidney transplant and I'm old. And so maybe I might be asleep in the afternoon. But if I'm awake and somebody needs help, I want to be there for them. The only requirement that I make is, to quote Kathy Switzer, you need to be a pleasure to be around.
Absolutely.
If you're
Agreed.
positive and you need help, we're here for you.
Ah, I adore you. I
Have
hope
a
you have
great
a
day,
wonderful
everybody.
day. Bye.
Nicole Hemming, everybody.